How are we doing?
Good, but that's my question. How are you doing?
I'm doing amazing. Happy to be here. Grateful for the opportunity, and yeah, ready to get this done.
And we haven't seen you since August. Is that an appropriate amount of time for you, or did you want to fight a little bit sooner than that?
Yeah, I wanted to fight again in November, December. I just never got the call. Didn't get an opponent, so now it's the next best date. They called me. I took the fight the same day, so no problem there.
What do you do during that time when you're just waiting for a fight? How do you stay motivated?
Man, I train full time. I train every day, regardless of if I have a fight or not. That, as well as my daughter's being born here in a couple weeks, so that was a big motivation this camp, and really just kept me focused and grounded.
When you have a child on the way, how difficult is that to train? Because I imagine there's a lot to get ready for a new baby.
It was actually really easy. It was nothing changed. My lady back home, Alexa, she is an amazing mom. She's gonna be an amazing mom, and she did everything for me this camp. She really dialed in and sacrificed her time and all the love that she wants for me to prepare for this fight and be ready.
You mentioned that you took the name with right away. What did you think when you got the name and the date and all that? What were your thoughts?
I thought it was a tough fight. I've seen Christian fight plenty of times before on previous cards, and I was impressed with him. He's a tough kid, but I just think I'm better all around, and it's my time.
And he's coming up in weight. So is it difficult to be fighting somebody that you haven't seen? I guess how difficult is it when you're looking at his tape to know what he'll be like at this weight? Do you think it will affect him enough that it could affect the way that you look at his tape?
Yeah, I mean, the difference is I'm a grown man, and he's been fighting little kids basically. At 135. If I get a hold of a 35-pounder, it's a wrap. So he's gonna have to put on a lot of size in a few months, and I just don't see that happening. So I think I'm gonna have a power advantage, strength advantage, and I think we'll get to see that.
I know he is coming up in weight, but he does have a history of missing weight. Is there any worry that he could still miss weight? Because we have seen that before where someone will come up in weight and still miss.
I hope he does. I need the money bad, so uh, yeah, I hope he does. Wouldn't be a problem for me. I'll still take the fight regardless.
What sort of fight are you expecting from him?
I'm expecting him to try to take me into deep waters. That's what he's done with most of his other fights. There's been a lot of questions saying that I can't go into deep waters, blah, blah, blah. But I think we'll get to see something special on Saturday.
Do you anticipate it going the full 3 rounds?
No, not at all. I think I can finish him in one. I think it's going to be tough. I don't take him lightly at all, at all. But I think my skills are there. I train with some of the best guys in the world, Chris Gutierrez, Jonathan Martinez, Yusuf Salal, and one of the best gyms in the world. So I've seen it all, done it all, and, it's just time to make it happen on the big stage.
Have you guys interacted at all in the lead up to the fight?
Nope. He said something. He said it's personal, but you don't want personal beef with crazy people. I'm from Kansas. We're pretty wild.
So he says it's personal?
Yeah, I don't know why, but that's what he said. I don't know.
Okay, I'm going to ask him that. Thank you.
Thanks, bud, for taking the time. I had to ask because you mentioned Chris and Jonathan. How awesome is it to have not just that type of talent to make you harder, to make things difficult if need be, but also emulate your opponent to be like, all right, man, this is the looks he might give you. We're going to figure this thing all the way out.
Oh, we have some guys with some of the best eyes in the UFC. These guys can see all tendencies. They see everything, and they're good at replicating. We didn't really have to do too much because it's really me. If I perform the A-plus fighter that I can be, it's no problem. If I go out there and don't show up, that's where the problem creeps in. So really just having those guys around and getting the looks, because obviously I don't have a lot of fights. I'm 6-0 as a pro. So having those guys that are vets and have been doing this for a long time, and I get to train with them every day, it's amazing. Like I said, I've seen it all.
Well, shout out to that 6-0 because even if it's just 6-0, that's still respectable, and also in the UFC. So that's just doesn't get any bigger than that. With the training and the motivation and drive, not that you lack it, but that fatherhood coming up now. How are you able to blend the two together? How does that refocus now?
I think it'll be easy, man. I wanna raise a gym rat. My daughter's gonna be raised in a gym, and she's gonna be feral like me. So I have no doubts about that, man. I live in an RV right now, and we're gonna stay in the RV regardless of what happens this fight. I want her to grow up on a farm and work with animals and do real things, work with her hands, not be one of these Instagram models or blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean?
I can dig it. And if baby girl has that farmer strength, man, she's destined to be a fighter. I mean, we just had Joanna, like in the Hall of Fame. One day you could be like, man, I'm going to coach you. I'm going to reverse roles.
Yeah.
How exciting. The farm thing, like this is how you were raised, how you brought up. Does that help you stay grounded and not get caught up with the social media stuff like you mentioned and the digital stuff and all that?
Yeah, I grew up a small town, man. I grew up riding dirt bikes in creeks and swimming in dirty water and stuff. So I like going back home. I don't like being in the city. And, I think that's where I belong, and that's where I'll end up when I'm done fighting. Right now I'm in Denver at Factory X. It's all right. I get out in the mountains every weekend, so I'm always outside and doing something.
That's awesome, man. And you touched about it a little bit earlier with Amy and them. With that advantage that you have, just a natural guy at your weight, you're about to tangle with someone moving up. In Colorado, there's no way you don't have like the most intense cardio because of the elevation. Is that also a factor just going into Vegas that you're going to be good if it was a 25-minute fight?
Yeah, man, I train for a 25-minute fight right now. The big thing is I'm always ready. And like I said, people doubt my cardio because I've only been in the first round. I'm excited to talk to my coaches in the middle of the fight. I'm excited for that. I can go in the deep waters. I've been wrestling since I was 8 years old. I've been competing in one-on-one combat sports since I was 8 years old. So it's nothing new to me. And, I run up in the mountains at 10,000 feet every weekend. So, it's funny when people say that, and we're going to get to see a show.
Man, I can't wait. Well, if you are right about Saturday getting that first round finish, looks like you might be upgrading that RV.
Yes, sir. That's what we're looking for.
All right, good luck on Saturday.
I know you talk about talking to your coaches. Part of the apex is that you can hear your coaches as your fight's going on. You've had a fight here before. A lot of fighters always want to rush. They want to get to the big arenas. But do you enjoy these apex shows while they're still happening in your career?
Yeah, man, I don't mind them. My biggest dislike with them is just the exposure you get. You don't get as much exposure at the Apex. But other than that, it's another Friday for me. We spar every Friday in the cage, and, so nothing new, man. I've been prepared for this. I've been bred for this, and it's my time.
And coming in with that 6-0, with the undefeated with that a lot of guys are going to be putting that target on your back. Is that the kind of thing that you embrace and that you're hoping for? And is that the kind of thing that, not that it's pressure, but do you enjoy that anticipation that fighters going to come in there trying to take that away from you?
Yeah, I feel like I've always had a target on my back ever since I was a little kid. And I fully believe that pressure is something that you put on yourself. It's not a real thing. It's really just about performing to your best ability. And when you do that and you've been prepared and you put in the work, the stars align for you. And that's what I base my whole career off of before fighting and as I'm a professional athlete in the UFC.
I don't want to take any guesses, but you said you've been dealing with this since you're a little kid. Is that just do people try to bully you? Or were you a short kid? I mean, what do you mean when you've been
I've always been short, but like I said, I've always competed at the highest level. Gotcha. My grandpa sacrificed his job and put all his money and all his time into me, taking me across the United States to train with the best guys, wrestle the best guys, compete with the best guys. So, like I said, I've been doing this since I was 8, and I fully believe that he put me in this position, and I owe everything to him.
Is your grandfather still around?
Yeah, he's still around, and this is actually going to be the first time he gets to – we got him tickets, so this is going to be the first time he gets to watch me fight live in the UFC, so I'm super excited for that, and just blessed the UFC gave me those tickets.
I was going to say it's got to be a special moment for you and for him. Is he the kind of does he give you feedback on your fights, or does he just enjoy that you're enjoying yourself? Is he the kind of break down tape with you?
No, he just enjoys it. He's a Vietnam vet. He's getting old now, and I just wanted to fight in front of him in the UFC before he expires. So that's just such a blessing to me, and something that if it didn't happen and he passed away before he got to watch me fight, I really didn't think I would continue fighting. So I'm just super happy that he's going to be here. Performing in front of him and the rest of my family. That's why I fight. I don't fight for myself. I don't fight to be cool on social media, blah. I fight for my family and to provide for them and to make them proud. And I feel like I've made him proud, but I want to make him even more.
That's incredible. I'm so happy that you get to have that happen for him out there as well. Last for me, I know you said the kid's already going to be a gym rat. I assume mom's already on board with that, and is mom maybe a gym rat as well?
Yeah, she's a fighter as well. She had to take some time off since she's pregnant, but She will be back in the gym. I'll be in the gym. Baby girl will be in the gym, and you know, Alexa might be in the UFC here in a couple of years. So I keep an eye out on that as well.
That's awesome. And if you get that bonus, you're gonna take that and get some land.
That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for some land. The biggest thing is in Denver. It's so expensive, man. It's so expensive. Back home, I can get a lot of land for the money, but yeah, I want to put the RV on some land for a few years. Keep fighting. Keep hoarding my win bonuses and blah blah blah, and you know, eventually build a tiny house and have a lot of acres and do whatever I want. Ride dirt bikes, hunt, set up bear traps, pipe bombs, everything out there. You know.
Maybe
I'm gonna train some coyotes to bite anything with a badge and a fade.
I like it. I like it. Shoot. I almost lost my train of thought thinking about the pipe bombs. I love it. Does that mean would you possibly consider relocating, or is Colorado and Denver your thing?
No, I think I'm gonna stay there until my fight career is done, and then you know I'll really start looking to. I don't know where I'm gonna go yet, but I want to be somewhere where no one can find me. I don't gotta talk to people and mess with people. I want to be out by myself with my family, and you know, do all the cool stuff.
Yeah. I'm thinking you need to look at Texas, maybe some Nevada area where you can get out and go crazy.
I can't do
Colorado
Texas.
might be a little too conservative.
Yeah, they are. Trust me. Maybe Montana or something. You know, something where I can hunt and do some cool stuff. Texas I'll get in trouble down there.
Best of luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
I just thought of one more. You mentioned you're undefeated. Your opponent has taken the O of his last two opponents. What do you think if there's any kind of superstition with that? Do you think about that when you're accepting a fight or thinking about a fight?
No, like I said, you know, he beat Raul. I feel like Raul kind of got the silver spoon in the division, and you know, he's 18 years old. He beat an 18-year-old great, you know, and then he beat Saman, another young guy. Not saying these guys can't be great because they have tons of potential and tons of time, but they're young. Like when I was 18, I wasn't ready for this, you know, and so he beat these young guys. So that has nothing to do with me. I'm a grown man. I've been training for this, and you know, I have a different style than those guys as well. So I think that's where the difference is right there, is the style.
Thank you.